All right, prop firms. Trying to pass them. Maybe you've tied into or bought a $50,000 funded futures account, or maybe a even higher evaluation or challenge, okay? Listen, I see a lot of people out there that are trading every single day, especially when it comes to futures, and they're overtrading. That is probably the biggest issue that I see most people on a daily basis doing is revenge trading, which leads to overtrading. And overtrading is going to do what? Cause you to blow your challenge or valuation or even possibly your own personal trading account. All right. Nothing wrong with trading the prop firms, I believe. Especially, I think a lot of people can use it as a tool for training, okay, to see how well they can actually trade. And if you can pass that, then you know that you should be on the right path for doing something correct. All right. Now, I will say this. Do this, take it for, in all seriousness, really think about what I'm saying when it comes to the number of trades you take. Please limit them, okay? Take one trade, no more than max 2 trades a day. I know a lot of you start profiting, okay, and start doing well, and you start pushing the envelope, and you say, okay, I'm up on 2 trades. Let me go for a third one. Let me go for a fourth one. At some point, all the profits in which you made in one single day or even one single week can be wiped out by one trade if you simply, for one, if you're not practicing proper trade and risk management, but for two, if you're pushing the envelope too much and you have an issue when it comes to psychology surrounding greed. What happens is people get greedy, and the next thing that happens right after that is they're going for a big win after already, saying taking on profitable or taking home profitable amounts of profit. They take a major loss or a big loss, and then they start digging a hole even deeper because they look at what they've done over the last few days and building up, in profits, a small account or an account in general, especially when it comes to these funded futures accounts, okay? So maybe you are, again, trading and trying to pass that $50,000 valuation. You almost are there. They give you basically a $2,500, trailing drawdown or thresh amount on what you can't, go under. And if you do, then the account size is blown. So basically you have $2,500, not a real $50,000 account. But if you know how to trade the correct way, especially if you're trading like, the micros, or at least trading one contract on the E-minis, you can make some money doing so, all right? And I'm talking about, scalping for like 20 points a day. That's going to give you a one contract $400 a day. At the end of the week, 400 times 5, if you do that 5 days a week, that's $2,000 at the end of the week. What happens to a lot of people, they trade for a few days a week, they're up, let's say a couple grand, or let's say, a couple $100, whatever the case is, and then one trade wipes out everything and it brings them back because they are not trading properly. All right. They're overdoing it. They're over trading. They're over leveraging. And that leads to them blowing that account. That's the vicious cycle that most people who are trading these prop firms get or fall victim to. I'll say that right now. Those funded futures accounts that you're trying to pass, you've got to put some limitation and rules surrounding them. That's why all these companies, when it comes to prop firms, they have these rule sets or these rule-based rules that traders have to adhere to and follow by. Okay. If not, then you're going to blow that account real quick, and then you're going to be back to spending another $40, $50, $100 here and there. And if you start adding that up over time, you're going to look at it and say, wow, I spent a lot of money trying to pass these evaluations, and maybe you pass one, but then you fall back in the rut of doing the same thing, pushing the envelope because you're so anxious about trying to take a payout. Okay. And then what happens is, because you aren't taking your sweet time and being patient and looking for taking high probability setups, you blow that account, and then you got to start all over, right? So I'm here to tell you, focus in on just entering one trade a day when it comes to trading those prop firm accounts or even your own personal trading account, and you'll see the difference that it's actually going to make over time. All right. Because basically, if you take one trade a day and you aren't successful in that one trade, or let's say the market is, maybe you didn't read the market right, or the market, you did read it right, and then it decides it wants to move in the opposite direction, then just close shop for the day, okay? By limiting the number of trades that you actually trade on a daily basis, that's going to help preserve your account, okay? And it's going to keep you in the business or game of being able to trade the very next day. And it's going to help build your trading profits over time. Because taking a trading one trade and taking a loss or small loss or getting out of the trade earlier enough. Listen, and even if it hits your stop, okay, by not taking a second entry and then you're starting to do more damage to yourself, again, you're preserving the actual size of the money you have left over or the capital that you have left over to trade with. And by limiting the number of trades, it makes sense if you think about it. Limiting trades is going to help build the trading profits over time because you're not exposing yourself as much in the market. Exposure and taking on trades one after another, and then, again, it wipes you clean because you took a major loss because you think that you know it all and you're doing okay, and you kind of built that confidence up so much to where you get kind of cocky with things, and you just kind of, then you start to over leverage, and then you start to dig a hole because you're taking on more trades than you need to. I appreciate those that have sent me messages saying, Mike, thank you for stressing the importance of limiting the number of trades, because I'm telling you, when you do that, you'll find yourself taking and waiting more patiently for better setups, okay? Because you're telling yourself that one trade is really all I really need to look for, and if I do this consistently every single day, my profits will grow consistently each and every single day. And at the end of the day, you're going to be able to take out, larger payouts, okay? All right, or at least every, 8-10 days, whatever the case is with these prop firms, you'll be able to take out a sizable deposit or withdrawal, okay? So I'm just here to tell you that, but you've got to understand, of course, the concepts, the basics of structure of the market. And today, for example, I'm just going to show you there were multiple opportunities to take trades from. If you just capitalize on one of these, and that's the reason why I like trading the NASDAQ, because we get a lot of opportunity, all right? A lot of opportunity to trade from. You could trade directly from a smaller range chart. And I'm going to show you just on a 24 range chart. I trade range-based charts. A lot of you may trade time, but I'm showing you today just like on my lower range chart, my entry chart, there were multiple setups, and all I need to do is capitalize on one, and that's what I did. I capitalized on one, and I'm done, okay? I'm not so much tied to I need to make a certain dollar amount every single day. I'm more tied to the idea of, I prefer to make a certain amount of points or profits. Yeah, in the end, it equates to be a certain dollar amount when you calculate things, but I'm not, stuck on the dollar. Like some people have their dome or their chart trader settings set up to where they're entering a trade. They start to, they're looking at the actual amount of money, and profit that they're in. I'm not tied to that. I don't kind of conceptually allow myself to visually, be centered around that. I'm interested in the points. I'm going after the points. That's what I'm going after, the ticks and the points. Okay. So if you're someone that has a $50,000 funded futures account already, please take one good solid setup a day. Make that profit, close shop, do the same thing in repetition in every single day, and those profits will take off like a rocket, I'm telling you, over time, all right? It may not be the first month, depending on, how much you're actually leveraging in the market, but I would recommend if you really are trying to tackle and go about trading or pass a $50,000, say, evaluation or challenge with a prop firm, I would trade no more than one E-mini contract for sure, okay? But as a beginner, I would really scale in or scale down to really trading the micros, and trading that way and building account size, but no more than one E-mini. I'll tell you that right now, to be seriously honest with you, okay? And go in and try to get 10, 20 points at a time. Now, I'm just going to show you like right here. For example, if we look at the market today, let's go over here, and looking at the lower range chart, right? This is the trade I took today. It was down here in this area. Right here, the rejection, it was a high probability demand zone right here. Plus we had a low probability demand zone right here. And I aimed for that 20 points and I got it, okay? Because this was a higher range demand zone. And I figured that the market would, if it rejected, it was going to go to the upside and start feeling some imbalances or gaps higher and look for opportunity to, take profit up. I talk about here on the channel, if you watch the video content, yes, in so much video content, I break things down surrounding a simple strategy of using multi-chart confluence, just all centered around supply and demand. So if you're someone that's interested, sorry about that, guys, hit my microphone. Someone that's interested, you are going to definitely want to watch the video content. And if you really want to understand the blueprint and the cornerstone to how I trade, you may definitely want to think about becoming either an elite or an ultra elite supporter. It's very inexpensive. I'm telling you that now. I don't have a trading course or not platform, but a trading course or mentorship program. I prefer myself, I like to make video content. The reason why is because the content that I make is so self-explanatory. It breaks things down very simple. And videos are things that you can actually go back and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch till the light turns on in your mind, okay? So you have that access to watch this video content, okay? A lot of people are visual learners. So by me providing you these tools through the means of this video content, hopefully in time you will grasp the material. That's where a lot of people who are the elite or the ultra elite supporters of the channel, they bought into that in a sense of they've wanted to become a member of part of that community. It's a private community, and I'm going to go over the perks here in a second and what you receive, but I want to go over these setups right quick and just to show you. They love the idea of being able to see the trade breakdowns and me discussing the breakdowns in detail. And as I'm doing that, I'm walking you through the strategy as a whole, okay? So by watching the video content on the private or back end through the videos that I create for that private community, okay, they slowly, a lot of them, take their time, which I recommend, start to catch on, all right? And everybody's learning curve is different, so, some may be quicker learners than others, but they start to catch on and understand how simple the strategy really is. Now, today, for example, after I took that trade there, guys, there was a setup before this actual trade right here going short right here. This was a beautiful supply area on the lower range chart, aggressive selling to the downside, high probability zone, retraces back to it. Take the trade right here at 764, 765, and aim for the low right here at 745, and pick yourself up at least right there. I would say 20 points right there. Okay, that's a no-brainer trade right there. Seriously, that's a no-brainer trade going to the downside. Then the market turns around where it starts to break and take out structure back to the upside. Right here when it broke above that highs, higher lows, and let's squeeze this together so you can see it, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. There was another setup right here, pull back. It's already breaking structure higher on a lower range chart. A demand setup right here. You get into this trade and go long, high probability zone as well. Then it created another one back to the upside right here, breaking structure, more structure above. Coming back to this demand zone right here, get into the trade, going long, back up towards the highs. There were multiple setups. There was also another quick scalp for 10 points right here. So just taking one of those setups a day will help you become profitable and build that account size up. That's all you need. Enter one trade a day, and you'll watch that account that you bought into, that $50,000 funded futures account. You'll watch it grow over a period of time, and you'll see how fast you can say, okay, I passed the evaluation. All right, I'm at my 8 or 10 day mark now. I can take a payout. And you can do that in repetition, and you can slowly start to build the profits in your trading account. All right. Now, if you want to become a elite member, guys, or a supporter of the channel, there is a link down in the description portion of the video. It's titled Ultra Elite Supporter. Click on it. Wait 2 or 3 seconds. You'll see the tiers pop up to the left-hand side of your screen. You'll see where you have the elite and the ultra elite selection or option to be able to choose. Click on each one of them, and it's going to list out the perks and rewards. With the elite tier, okay, or membership, you receive all my trade breakdown videos, okay? So what that is, where I post my entries over on the Discord, I go back and I break them down in great detail. My full-on mindset on these trades. What was I thinking in reference to price action and market structure, stop loss placement, and profit target areas? Giving you the full 9 and letting you know what my thought process was behind each one of those trades. Okay, tons of trade breakdown videos there. That's probably where a lot of people are understanding and picking up the concept to the strategy as a whole. Plus, you get the video playlist and a great video surrounding the market structure, okay, if you're struggling with that concept. Now, if you want to become an ultra elite supporter or a member of the channel, again, you receive everything that I just discussed, all the perks and rewards, becoming an elite, but you also receive the live recorded trading sessions as well. Okay. All right. And there's plenty of those videos you can watch. Those are, videos to where I'm trading during the session. I'm walking you through top-down analysis, structure. What am I looking for to happen or within the market? What trades I'm engaged in? You see me take the trades. I break them down for you just as well. All right. Both tiers are inexpensive, guys. I'm telling you that right now. So it's basically like pennies on the dollar a day for lots and loads of valuable content. I cannot guarantee anything to anyone because your way of being able to read or view the markets can be completely different than mine. You can make mistakes. So you have to really watch the content and practice the strategy as a whole for yourself. Back testing and forward testing just as well. That means in demo and simulation, okay? Before you jump the ship and then start trying to trade live or purchase one of these, prop firm evaluation accounts, okay, like the $50,000 one, all right? But that's what I want to share with you today, guys. Please limit your number of trades 1 to 2 max, okay? And you'll start to see your profits grow in size because like I said, when you start limiting the number of trades you take, you'll start to see that you become more consistent and profitable over time. All right, that's all I have. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch today's video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel already, please take the time to go ahead and sub right now by clicking that button. Make sure to turn your post notifications on by clicking that bell. And last but not least, do me the biggest favor and drop a like on the video today if you found value. Take care. I'll see everyone in the next one.